up, everybody on YouTube? I'm On1H. Welcome to the Christmas special of What's It Worth, where I'm going to be reviewing the movie that came out November 16th, and I saw it the next day, Red One. Less than 2 days before Christmas, Santa Claus, codenamed Red One, has been kidnapped by Grilla, the Christmas Witch, which leads the ELF, led by Callum Drift, to enlist a level 4 naughty lister, for they must work together to save Santa and stop Grilla from her most sinister plan that could possibly end Christmas. So the day after its release, we went to go see it in theaters because it's a Christmas present for someone in the family. And when we saw it, I felt like I should have waited until this film came out on DVD first and rented it out. Because it's not a bad Christmas movie, but this is not a Christmas movie to get overly excited over. I mean, I thought it was okay for the most part, but this is one of Dwayne Johnson's movies where the trailer is better than the movie itself. Don't get me wrong, I do like Dwayne Johnson's movies, or some of them, but he has a line of good movies along with some okay movies, like they're watchable. And I hate to say it, but this film ranks as it's alright. Now, the film does have awkward moments that you'll probably find extremely irritating. One being when they try to converge the fantasy world, like the holidays and stuff, with like the real world. It kind of is very awkward, and I thought the stupidest thing that they tried to do in this film was when they tried to build like a serious CIA thriller thing in a fantasy-based holiday movie setting, and I was like, that was just so dumb. And I felt like that was like the biggest downer of the whole movie. On top of that, you know how in the trailer the gags were so funny and it looks really good? Well, in the actual movie, they edited it in a way where they would take the jokes, they would split it up, and you hear one part of the joke and then the next part of the joke was like minutes later, and it comes off very awkward. And I just went, you know, a part of me really expected that. Now, the film does have some good perks to it. One of the biggest ones that's absolute in every Christmas film would be the message that the film tries to convey onto the audience, both young and old, in which the theme of it plays out with the character transitions between Dwayne Johnson's character and Chris Evans. With Dwayne Johnson's character, Callum Drift, he's an ELF agent who bodyguards Santa Claus around the holidays when he's out in public. One day, he submits his resignation notice. As much as he loves the job and being around the kids and try to spread good cheer, it was the grown-ups and the bad behavior that they embrace and they give into and they express all the time, all around him, even around the holidays. It has crushed him and his Christmas spirit so bad that he just doesn't want to be a part of it anymore. He doesn't want to see it anymore. And how Dwayne Johnson kind of expresses that, it's like, it was one of the most powerful elements that Dwayne Johnson brought to this character, because you know what, everybody, even, you know, people like me, you know, can relate to that, because seeing all this negative vibes that are all going on out there in the world, it's like, it's just enough to break anybody. Kind of like the new normal, right? Huh? But in the story, Dwayne Johnson's spirit ends up being rekindled when he's forced to align with a level 4 naughty lister, Jack the Wolf McNally.
A level 4 naughty lister? Oh.
Chris Evans I am so happy he has come back to Hollywood. And even better, I'm actually glad that Dwayne Johnson actually put him in the movie. Because I think without Chris Evans, I think this movie would have flopped if he wasn't in this film. He was such a delight to watch in this movie. As a matter of fact, as a comic relief, he pretty much makes this movie. And I loved it. I loved every minute of his performance. I mean, it was everything he did in the film. It was how slick and how smooth and how sly he is about the jobs he pulls off, and how careless he is, and how much he's just a disaster waiting to happen. And he was just everything that he brought to the film, including his comical aspects. It was so natural. Oh, and his little Brooklyn accent, that was a nice touch. I mean, Chris Evans did such an amazing job playing as the level 4 naughty lister, a father of his son Dylan, who he felt like if he was not a part of his son's life, that he would not let his son down, and he wouldn't be such an embarrassment to him. In which he eventually realizes that he has to go from like being that selfish to eventually realizing that he's letting down Dylan but not being a part of his life, and how he is going to uphold his promise to be there as the dad that kid really needs. It was so powerful, and that was the whole point of the theme behind the story. And it was a very powerful message that film was trying to convey. I mean, a little kid may or may not understand it, but as a full-grown adult, you would definitely understand it. Now, they did bring back a lot of familiar faces, like J.K. Simmons as Saint Nick. I actually like the idea that they put him as Santa Claus. I mean, I still remember him as J. Jonah Jameson from the Spider-Man films. He's another one of those that is such a delight to watch. And putting him as Santa Claus, I was like, oh yeah, he's cool. There is one character I really liked, which was Garcia, the polar bear. I mean, it was such a shame that he's not really in the movie as much. And he was one of those characters I wanted to see more of. Now, Krampus, as much as, you know, I love the actor and makeup thing that they did for the character, because I always enjoyed actors and prosthetics and the makeup effects. I wish that they did not put one part that will remain in my psychoanalysis for the rest of my life. And that was when they had to have him wiggle his ass in front of the camera. Ugh. Another noteworthy thing about this film that makes it pretty good would be some of the action in it. I did like the Santa kidnapping, where The Rock has to chase after the snowcat. The snowman fight was pretty good. But I did like the final showdown with Grilla at the end. That was really good. That was actually the best part of the whole movie. Okay, so where do I rank Red One? I'm going to have to give this film a half price rating. I mean, it's a pretty good Christmas movie, but it's not one to get overly excited over. I mean, it's a B movie, and it's one of Dwayne Johnson's okay movies. But above all, it's actually not bad. So, you know, if you want to go see it, knock yourself out. Okay, so I'm done reviewing Red One. I'll probably review another Christmas movie. I'm just going to go random. So, please leave a comment. Please subscribe. Till next time, I'm Owen H. Happy Holidays.